am Amanda Bohannon. I'm a nurse in ICU West at Redmond Regional Medical Center. I've worked at Redmond for almost 12 years. I crossed over to the dark side of nursing about 4.5 years ago.
What got you into nursing?
I had a daughter that was disabled. She was diagnosed when she was 4 with a rare genetic disease called Sanfilippo syndrome. And so throughout her life, she just lost more and more abilities. And I'd worked at Redmond, and I got married in 2008, and I started thinking about, I'd been single for so long and just been a single mom, and then I got married, and I had the opportunity to think, well, what do I want to be when I grow up? And so I really fought the nursing thing for a long time, because I thought, I don't like poop, I don't like blood, I don't like vomit, I don't like any of that. And I had a friend tell me, nobody likes that. You just deal with it. And but when I looked at the variety of things that you could do with just a nursing degree, I thought, well, and that the hospital would reimburse me to go to school, I thought, well, I'd just be stupid not to do that. And I love it. I love it. Now I couldn't imagine doing anything else.
What's been the most rewarding part about your career?
My favorite part of nursing is teaching. Is teaching people that they do have control. Once they understand what their body's doing or why it's doing something, and you let them know that they have control over some of these things, and that they're an active, sometimes people don't realize they're an active participant in their own health and their own medical care. And when you empower them, it's amazing the difference that you can have. You see that light bulb go off, and it's very exciting.
And you mentioned about your child, that's kind of lit another passion in your life. Tell me about that.
I was in nursing school. I graduated from Georgia Highlands College in 2012. 3 or 4 months after I graduated, my daughter passed away. I knew from the time that she was 4 and she was diagnosed that I was not going to get to keep her. Most children with what she had, it wears their immune system down, so a lot of times they pass away with pneumonia or something. Marlo had a stroke. She had a massive brain hemorrhage that was almost instant, and that ended up taking her life. But prior to her passing away, God had already told me earlier in that year that I was supposed to build a home. He had given me the verse, a verse to a poem that I had written Marlo, which was my daughter, when she was 17. And that verse was, "You are a precious caterpillar wrapped in a sweet cocoon, who'll emerge a beautiful butterfly in heaven way too soon."
Now, when you say build a home,
right? So I had just written her a poem. I'm not a poet. I don't sit around writing poetry. It was just her birthday gift for her 17th birthday, and that was part of the poem. But those words, the sweet cocoon, had just stayed stuck in my head for a solid year, and I couldn't figure out why. And then the spring of 2012, God says, the sweet cocoon is supposed to be a house. You're supposed to build it. I was in my 4th semester of nursing school. I have a husband that's a cop that is working, I don't even know what shift he was on, 2nd, 3rd shift, working all these multiple side jobs also so that I could get through school. I was working part-time. My daughter in and out of the hospital. We had 4 teenagers in the house. It was hormone hell around there. And so in the midst of all this, God says I'm supposed to build this house, and I was like, great. I got nothing else to do. Let me build a house.
Tell me about this house.
So the house, I didn't tell anybody about this house because it was just such an odd thing, and I'm a dreamer anyway. So, I certainly didn't want to tell my dad. I didn't want to tell my husband, because they're the ones that keep me grounded. They're the ones that, don't let me float off into dreamland. So those were kind of the last ones that I told. But I told a couple of friends. The Sweet Cocoon is supposed to be a home that people that have children with disabilities, whether it's chronic or acute, whether these families have been fighting an illness for years and years, or their child was just suddenly diagnosed with cancer. It doesn't matter. The rug's been pulled out from under their feet. It's a daily struggle, and you've still got to work. You've still got the same things to deal with that any other family with children has to deal with. You still have a spouse if you're lucky. I didn't for years and years. But so you still have a spouse. So lots of times you have other children. Most of the time you still got to go to work. You still got bills to pay. But on top of that, then you've got this unmeasurable amount of uncertainty that you've got to deal with every day. You don't know what the future holds. Sometimes you've got stacks and stacks and stacks of medical bills that you don't know how you're going to pay. So the Sweet Cocoon is supposed to be a place that these families come for 3 or 4 days, and you just get to catch your breath, and you just get to relax for a little while, and you just let somebody else handle. You just forget for a little while.
And what's all? I mean, you come to relax. What all we have for the kids?
So the house, Robert Noble and an intern that he had working for him. I told them what I wanted, and they've designed the house for us based on what I said. So it would house 2 families at a time, separate living kind of quarters, so that it's still isolated, that it's still private. You get too big and try to do too much. These families need personal service. They need personal attention. So the house will be big, but you don't want so many families there that nobody gets the attention that they need.
Well, what will you provide for these families?
The plan is to incorporate some art therapy, music therapies, just have fun. I mean, play games. There's so many things that families that have handicapped children, you just can't do. You can't do. Not everywhere is accessible. If you've got children that require a lot of equipment, wheelchairs and oxygen tanks and all this stuff, it's easier not to go anywhere. It's such a pain to have to load all this stuff up. To go to a football game, you're packing like somebody who's going on a week-long trip, and it's so you just don't. And that means your other kids don't get to do a lot of things that they would like to do. So we want one night, we want mom and dad just to be able to go on a date all by themselves. We'll have nurses at the home that will take care of the kids. We'll have other people that are, providing entertainment for the kids, and let mom and dad dates are few and far between. You don't, even with healthy children, mom and dad don't necessarily get to go on a date. But if you've got one that's handicapped or got some special needs, it's unheard of.
And you're holding an event coming up. Tell me about this event.
The event is our anchor event. Last year was our first one, and it was so much fun. So this year we'll be holding it once again at the Rome Area History Museum. This is our butterfly ball. And the goal is to have a ball at the ball.
When is it?
October 15th, 8 p.m. Girls, I say, get as dressed up as you want to. Guys, nobody's going to be looking at you anyway, so who cares? If you put on slacks and a shirt, we don't care. Cocktail attire. But we will have music and dancing and drinks and food, and we're going to showcase some special kids.
But this is for anybody.
Anybody. Mm-hmm.
And how much?
Tickets are $50. Tickets are $50 each. I know that sounds a little high, but I thought, there are nights when, my husband and if we go out to a movie and you get popcorn and we go out to eat and, get an appetizer or a drink. I mean, you set down $100 anyway, and none of it goes to charity. So it is a fun event. It's not a stuffy. It is not a stuffy, snooty event at all. It's fun.
Is there a place where folks can get more information if needed?
Absolutely. They can go to the website, thesweetcocoon.com. They can call me directly. I'm easy to talk to. Just call my phone.